Okay, so about to change the transmission fluid in the standard Nissan 2010 Versa. So this is the drain plug. That up in there, that piece is the fill plug. This won't fit a 1/4 inch, it won't fit a 3/8. So what do? Well, you can grind down a 3/8, but I've got this Allen, and I get the two sides, and I can grind down the two, which means only holding by 2, but I'm going to try it instead because I don't never really use this Allen, so I won't lose anything. Okay, I'm going off the top of my head here, but I believe that was a 10mm Allen wrench, not a standard wrench, or an Allen, of course. But don't quote me on that. Now, if you look at the plug really close, you can tell that whoever changed the oil before, they used a chisel or something on it and dug in and hit it and knocked it loose, because you can see the groove mark where it's been changed that way. So they didn't have the tool either. One directly on the other side of it, which is this one. Right, yep. Here's the tool. And there we go. Broke it loose. Alright, now I need a pan to drain it into. So there's the pan. And there's the oil. Okay, now I'm going to put that cap back on. There's a seal. So I'm going to put that back on here. It's a brass seal. Put it back in. Okay. Give it a little snug. Okay, now here's the real test. I'm trying to focus, but I don't know if it will. But not only is it all dark, but you can see metal flakes shimming in the light all in there. Okay, time to put some fluid back in it. So here we go. From the top, you go up under. Now, this is the 6-speed. Some models will be on the front of the transmission, or it should say the side, but towards the front of the car. But this one is over here in the side. Up in there, you see the whitish looking bone colored cap. Now, you may have to work on it a little harder than I just did to get it to come loose, but there's the cap. Alright, there's the hole up in there. Alright, so we want to find out what size hose to use. I've already checked it now. You got to minus the threads, unless you plan on trying to thread the hose up in there, which you don't want to try to do in a tight spot. So this right here is basically the size, looking at from the top, minus the threads. So I got that size. Now, here's the hose, okay? Here's the ball. I've trimmed the top off. Well, let's see where this will go. There's another bump right there. It'll go over that just fine, that next bump. So, what we're going to do now, because the bigger you make this hole, the better, which is the whole point of getting a bigger hose, because you want the fluid to flow better. It'll flow much better at a bigger hole than a small hole. So, now we got a much bigger hole. Alright, so I've cut that bigger. And I've got some tape. Now, This will go on here. Just fine. And it might would hold, but I want a little bit of assurance, so I'm going to put some tape on it. Now, that's on there, but I want to make sure it's on there even better, so I'm going to go around it again because I'm stubborn like that. I don't want it to be able to pull out. Now, I know I'm going to use another bottle, so I might as well get it ready because I'm going to take that lid and put it on here. Why try to redo everything when you just use the same lid? So this one's going to be ready. This is just going to be sitting up there hand tight. Alright, so now I'm going to run the hose down through the body to get it down there. Now I'll go down the bottom and pull it. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to go around the end of the transmission here. But you can do it however you want to do it to get it to the hole. There's the hole up in there, see? So whatever it takes to get it to the hole is what you're doing. But you want it up high, you don't want it to come all the way down and then back up because that just creates a pool of water or oil fluid in this case. And there it is up in there. Now, if you're doing it alone, you can wedge something in there to make sure the hose stays in there. Okay, here's a big screw. I'm going to wedge it in there. Like I say, you got to make sure it does not go into the transmission. You know, the screw. See, that's got a big head on it. It's not going to go anyway. But you have to make sure of that because the last thing you need is for it to fall in the transmission and tear your transmission up. The best way to do is don't even put that in there. Just hold it and have somebody else squeeze the bottle at the top. You can come under and squeeze it yourself if you need to, but it's kind of harder to get it in there. Alright, I'm going to go up top and start squeezing. Okay, so here it is. Here's your little window. I've already squeezed it once, but I wanted to show. You got to make sure that's snug enough that it's not going to leak. You turn it up, you squeeze. There's the fluid going down. Okay. Now the problem is when you have to get another bite of air. So you only got two choices. If you leave it like this, you can poke a little hole in it with something and hold your finger out while you're pushing down, and when you want to let air, let your finger off. But here's the other solution. I'm squeezing. Now, you can just squeeze all the oil out. Go from there, but anyway, I'm squeezing, and let's say I want some more air. But you don't want to just let go of the bottle because they'll try to suck it back up. So you flip it over and you loosen it. Not all the way off, but it'll let it get air, and then you can let it get another bite, see? Tighten it back up, flip it back over, and there you go. You go again. Watch the hose. See whenever it runs out. Okay, now we know that one's empty. So we flip it over. Let that one get back. Grab another one. Get you some turns going before you put it on there. Put it on there. And you repeat the process again. Alright, that's this one. No grip. I only had 2 quarts. Not just over 2. And there we go. Cap's back on. Wipe all the leaking oil everywhere.